I would like to use the word the most criticized. People love us. Yes, people still love the police. You go around and see it from the eyes of the people, how appreciative they are after police have solved their problems. People that are under attack and police come to their rescue, you could see how happy they are. So I don't want to think that people hate us. If they hate us, we can't even operate. But we are criticized. Most of those criticisms, some of them are constructive, helping us also to improve in our services, and some of them, of course, we must admit, are destructive. Because there are people, no matter what you do, you can't really please them. And it's appreciated. And whether also you like it or not, there are people that will never accept you because you are trying to stop them from doing what they are benefiting from. There's no armed robber that will like the police. There's no kidnapper that will like the police. There's nobody who is into crime that will like the police because we are there to stop him. So when you have people like that and they have opportunities to criticize the attack so hard because they don't even want you there, they want a field day for them to operate, So there is no challenge that is as big as you've been called upon to be a reputation manager of an institution that is mostly criticized, that people hardly appreciate. That on its own is a big challenge. I faced that in Niger because Niger was the first place where I became PRO. I have a background in community-based policing. It's a reform program that the federal government and Nigerian police is implementing, which has to do with bringing the police close to the people and them working together to solve the problems of crime. So I've been in that field for over 10 years, working not just as a trainer, but as also an advisor and a consultant in that particular field. So that helped me to really understand the grassroots, to understand public sentiment, to understand the needs of the people. And we have carried out a lot of research, a lot of survey, and we really got a lot of feedback from what Nigerians want to see in the police. So that helped me in bringing it to bear in my role as public relations officer. So what I first did in Niger is to carry out a baseline study of the public perception of the police. Then to also get feedback using that study on areas that the public are not too happy with the police and they want the police to improve on. The result I got is put at 39%. So only 39% of the population view us in a positive light. Then I look at those areas that people want us to improve, where we are getting the negative perception. Some of them have to do with extortion on the roads, bail money, police brutality, police harassment, abuse of rights generally. Then we asked Nigerians also, what do you want to see in the police? We got about 5 summaries there. One of them is, we want the police to be helpful. We want the police to be friendly. We want to see the police patrolling the streets where we live. We want to see the police patrolling the streets where we work. We want police to be accountable. So, and I look at what can we do to improve on those areas. So I sell it back to the management, because once I get feedback from the members of the public, I also feed the management, which I'm also a member of, the Commissioner of Police and other top management officers. So we look at areas, what we can really do to improve on those things. So we started by tackling the issue of police corruption. Then we also dealt with the issue of human rights abuses by establishing human rights desks in all the police stations, and we brought in a lot of channels where people can complain. I went on the vast advocacy programs in the states, visiting schools, all the media houses, talking to citizens on what they can do in case they have been abused, whom they can contact. We made those lines available for people to reach out to us, and that has also helped. We carried out an in-house training. Virtually every single policeman in that state passed through the training. Over time, the training was in badges on human rights. Based on the feedback we got from the members of the public, we also designed trainings to fill those gaps. We carried out a repeat of that study after a period of time, and it improved to 78%.
Wow. From 35?
From 39% to 78%. So, in whatever examination you get 78, you know it's a very good mark.
The pass mark.
You know, it has moved beyond pass mark. It's beyond pass mark. You are dealing with a distinction.
Yes.
At that stage. So, we did not relent on that. We keep on improving to see that we get to a point that the citizens will not just look at the police as the nation's police, but as their own police. As their own police. They will be proud to call, this is my police. So I left Niger to Akwa Ibom, a different terrain. So I tried to study that terrain to see what I could really do to also improve on that. And I did my best, though I did not spend much time like I did in Niger and Akwa Ibom. Then I returned to the headquarters, then eventually to Lagos again. So Lagos, you know, is another different environment. We call it a mini Nigeria, with a large population than all those states I've mentioned, and with a large population of people on social media. Virtually, large percentage of celebrities are here. Companies, organizations, most of them have their corporate headquarters here. So you are dealing with another bigger challenge. Coupled with the fact that there are a lot of complaints from young men on the street on how they have been harassed by the police on the street of Lagos because of how they look, because of how they dressed, either because they have dreadlock, or because they have tattoo, or because they wear their clothes in certain manner. We also have complaints of young men being harassed, asked to bring their phones for search. So they are feeling not really safe, not because of criminal activities, but because of some few police elements that are harassing them on the streets. So you could imagine the level of hatred being built and resistance that the young men also are putting up, because they leave their home in the morning prepared that they are going to face the policeman on the street today. So they have already built resistance on how to combat him. My commissioner of police made similar statements severally. Even recently he said it clearly. So I'm giving you a background. These are things I met on ground. So those attitudes of some few police officers on the street of Lagos have built a lot of negative public perception, mostly from the youthful population, which I have to deal with. So it's part of the challenge I met on ground in Lagos. We started a lot of things, that informed our decision to have this platform also, where young men, also citizens, can complain. So we have worked closely with a lot of friends of mine, like the Sega Link, Rugged Man, quite a number of celebrities too, and people who really have, who are influencers on the social media that a lot of young people reach out to when they are in need. So as soon as they get such issues, they forward them to me quickly, and I've also made my lines public. They are online for citizens to search and call me. And I try as much as possible also to maintain an active presence on the social media, mostly on Twitter, to help people who have complaints to reach me. So we have been receiving quite a number of complaints there. That is on personal note. Then the department we have also set to investigate such issues also are on social media. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and you can also send through WhatsApp, whatever platform you can reach them.
How about like an application where people can also send it?
You have an email too that we have an email that you can also send your complaint. You can also call and someone will speak to you and take those complaints. And we even have some citizens who are here to collect their money. I think she has given one, they have gone already. The money we have recovered.
Wow.
We have one 2 weeks ago. 705,000 naira was extorted from him by a police team. We identified the team, we got them arrested, we recovered the money and handed it over to him and placed them under internal disciplinary process, which we call orderly room. It's just like a court. We tried them. Then a week later again, just last week, we had another one, because as people are seeing us recovering monies, handing over and dealing with those rogue police officers, more citizens are stepping forward because they are having more confidence in the process. They are coming up to complain, even as little as 5,000 naira. We have recovered 5,000 naira already in 2 different instances. One that his 185,000 naira was extorted. Also, we recovered the money and returned to him. There are quite a number of such things. What we do in the past, we see it as a normal duty. We recovered and hand over to the citizen and he's gone happy. But out there, people don't really know that it's happening. Because naturally, as a person, I see it as only performing my duties. I'm not doing that to impress anybody out there. I'm just doing it because it is the right thing to do legally. So we don't really bother about publicizing it, But when the need arises, people keep on saying, police are doing nothing about this. Police is doing nothing about this. Then we say, well, it's good for you to know that we are doing something about it. And we begin to put them on public domain. When Kolade Johnson was killed in this town, it was something that went viral. Everybody is aware. Nobody even know who actually carried out the act. We did the search and identified the team that did that. We apprehend them. And from point to point, I was giving update to Nigerians. From the point we apprehend the team, to the point we place them in custody, to the point they were tried, and they were found guilty under our internal disciplinary mechanism, and they were dismissed from the police. I gave all the updates. I did not even stop at that. I brought in the press and parade him like we parade any other citizen. Even when he was charged to court, I gave updates. The press follow up and cover up the proceedings. When he was moved into the court, when he was moved to the Black Maria and to Kirikiri prison. So such updates now help citizens to really know that
Nigerian police
of a truth, police is really taking those cases seriously. And that built more confidence on the mind of the people, and we have more people now stepping in. I was in a program on Saturday and somebody said on the average in a day he receives complaint about 10 complaints in a day, and I said on an average I receive not less than 100 complaints in a day from citizens. Well, in some of such cases the policemen are not wrong, the citizens are wrong, and in some of those cases again the policemen are wrong. And where the citizens are wrong, I'll look at them to the face and tell them you're wrong because you are not supposed to do this. Where the police officers are wrong, in the presence of the citizen, I'll tell him, you are wrong. And because you violate our laws, you're going to face disciplinary measures. And the citizen will also be asked to come and witness the proceedings. So that built more confidence. And we are doing that, not just because we want to impress anybody out there, but because first, we believe that citizens deserve the best policing services that anyone can offer anywhere in the world. And we must look at the kind of services we are giving to improve on them, to give the citizens what they deserve. And those also who are sabotaging our efforts from within the system are shown the way out. or are disciplined accordingly for them to improve or change. Then we're also doing that, believing that we have no country apart from Nigeria. And we are also raising kids in Nigeria. If I'm a police officer, my kids are not police officers. My relations are not police officers. I want my kids to walk the street of Nigeria freely without being harassed or molested by anybody on the street. Nobody will accept molestation from the man who is being paid to protect him. So I want my kids to be free too on the street of Nigeria. So whatever we are doing, we're not just doing for ourselves. We are doing it for the sake of our children that we're raising and also generations unborn, so that they will have a better country than we are having now. So I'm only playing my part in nation building. We are all playing our parts in nation building to make it better for all of us.